Good morning. In sport, Liverpool hit Southampton for 6 in the Capital One Cup. Yeah, Capital One Cup. I was just going to say to you, how's that for a football picture? Oh my goodness, were they on a roll last night? That's Liverpool celebrating their victory over Southampton with the travelling fans, many of whom had travelled a long way. Morning to you both. Morning everybody at home. Despite scoring in the first minute, Southampton were thrashed 6-1 by Liverpool in the quarter-finals of the Capital One Cup. Two stories in town as far as the papers are concerned. Let's have a look at the front page of the Daily Telegraph sports section. They've gone for the slightly different version of that picture we just showed you at the top of the sports bulletin. Liverpool celebrating Klopp's 6 of the best. Can we see no Daniel Sturridge in that picture, who of course scored 2 last night, having been, I don't know, slightly criticised by Klopp last week for does he know pain? Is he in pain, or is it real pain? That's what Klopp said about him. Well, there he is celebrating one of his goals. Sturridge hands out the pain. This is what the Independent is saying. But lots of the papers, big story, it's about this man, Gary Neville, who surprised everybody yesterday by taking up that job with Valencia. He's been with Sky Sports for the last 4 years. Hugely successful television pundit, and you would have to say, whatever you think about him, he has changed the way people talk about football on television. He has been a fantastic pundit. He's decided to take up a coaching role with Valencia sooner than anybody expected, actually. I mean, he always said he would probably want to coach after the Euros next year. He's going to Spain to work with his brother. Lots of people talking about him as a future England manager.
I wonder how Salford City feels about that.
I should think probably delighted, because he'll be nipping backwards and forwards. And Philip Lim, who owns Valencia, also owns a stake in Salford City. All one big happy family.
One happy family.
So thanks very much. Key story in relation to FIFA and the ongoing investigation.
That's right. If you can't get your head around black holes and gravity, you certainly can't get your head around what's happening at FIFA at the moment, because it is an incredibly complex picture. I can tell you that within the last hour there has been a further development on the FIFA situation. A number of football officials have been arrested within the last hour. That's at a luxury hotel in Zurich. FIFA says they are aware of what's happened. They're going to continue to cooperate fully. Swiss and US authorities are investigating current and former senior football officials on charges including racketeering, money laundering and fraud. So just to confirm that within the last hour or so, there have been further arrests at the luxury hotel in Zurich, where several members of FIFA have been staying. Swiss and US authorities involved in that investigation. We are hoping to talk to our correspondent, Richard Conway, who is there for us this morning within the next hour. Now, despite scoring in the first minute, Southampton were thrashed 6-1 by Liverpool last night in the quarter-finals of the Capital One Cup. England manager Roy Hodgson said the experience Gary Neville will gain as new coach of Spanish club Valencia will be invaluable. The IAAF president, Lord Coe, has accepted there have been failures in tackling the problem of blood doping in international athletics. Coe was vice president in 2007 before becoming president just last August. Speaking to the Commons Culture Select Committee, Coe also conceded that the structure of the IAAF needs changing. Vladimir Klitschko has confirmed he will attempt to regain his world heavyweight titles by taking up his option for a rematch with new champion Tyson Fury next year. Eddie Jones has been delayed in taking up office as England's new rugby union head coach because he is still waiting for a work visa. World number 1 Mark Selby is through to snooker's UK Championship quarterfinals in New York after comfortably seeing off Thailand's Diachwat Phumjang. Busy morning of sport coming up today, don't we? We have a very special guest coming in later on.
We always like it when really, really big sporting superstars sit on the sofa with us, don't they?
And should we tell everybody who this one is?
Bradley Wiggins will be here.
The great Bradley Wiggins, talking about his record-breaking hour record, which was quite a feat. But apparently one of the most painful sporting endeavours in the world.
It is an extraordinary achievement, and he'll be here a little later on to talk to us about that, and also about other things as well, I'm sure. We'll speak to him later. Sally?
Yeah, look forward to that.
Thank you very much.
Good morning. In sport, Liverpool hit Southampton for 6 in the Capital One Cup.
We're going to focus in on events off the pitch, aren't we? Because FIFA once again this morning, developments overnight, arrests taking place.
Yeah, you remember several months ago, similar situation, early morning raid at exactly the same hotel. This has happened again this morning. Several FIFA officials arrested. More officials arrested within the last 2 hours or so in Switzerland. A number of football officials have in fact been arrested overnight. at a luxury hotel in Zurich. FIFA has told the BBC it is aware of what's happened and will continue to cooperate fully with ongoing investigations. Swiss and American authorities are investigating current and former senior football officials on charges that include racketeering, money laundering and fraud. Much more on that story throughout the morning. Elsewhere, despite scoring in the first minute, Southampton were thrashed 6-1 by Liverpool in the quarter-finals of the Capital One Cup. England manager Roy Hodgson said the experience Gary Neville will gain as new coach of the Spanish club Valencia will be invaluable. Vladimir Klitschko has confirmed that he will attempt to regain his world heavyweight titles by taking up his option for a rematch with new champion Tyson Fury next year. Eddie Jones has been delayed in taking up office as England's new rugby union head coach because he's still waiting for his work visa. World number one Mark Selby is through to snooker's UK Championship quarter-finals in York after comfortably seeing off Thailand's Dechawat Poomjang. Well done to him. Bradley Wiggins coming up in the next hour. Really looking forward to talking to him about cycling like a madman for an hour. I can't cycle for more than about a minute. So, yeah, I've tried.
Not at those speeds,
No.
anyway. Something like 55 kilometres he did. We've got the
Very
exact
quick.
numbers, but an intense thing.
We'll see you later on. Thanks,
Okay.
Sam.
Good morning. Liverpool hit Southampton for 6 in the Capital One Cup last night.
For us.
Starting with Liverpool this morning, the Jurgen Klopp effect certainly seems to be working for them at the moment. A win at the weekend and a big win last night. And everybody, despite scoring in the first minute, Southampton were thrashed 6-1 by Liverpool in the quarter-finals of the Capital One Cup. The England manager Roy Hodgson said the experience Gary Neville will gain as the new coach of Spanish club Valencia will be invaluable. Vladimir Klitschko has confirmed that he will attempt to regain his world heavyweight titles by taking up his option for a rematch with new champion Tyson Fury next year. Eddie Jones has been delayed in taking up office as England's new rugby union head coach because he's still waiting for his work visa. World number one Mark Selby is through to snooker's UK Championship quarter-finals in York after comfortably seeing off Thailand's Dechawat Poomjang. I think I'm going to get some sporting tips right now, aren't I? Hopefully.
In what way?
Bit of advice for my spinning.
Well, you said you couldn't cycle for longer than a minute.
I have to
Something
confess, I
needs
was
a tip.
exaggerating
I
slightly.
know.
What was that,
I
by the
know.
way? What was that?
Spinning.
Oh, that's spinning, is
Spinning.
it?
That's when you use your
Like
arm.
knitting.
Not knitting when I do it, I can tell you.
Yes, Bradley Wiggins coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a second now.
I can see